Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, friends. It's time to continue with that new star smell as we watch Babylon 5 Season 1 Episode 4 Infection. I've been doing a lot of this like contagion stuff recently. We had over on Patreon on Fringe and a bunch of stuff, Last of Us. So I'm hoping we don't have another like viral outbreak, but the title certainly suggests that that's exactly what we're going to have. Friends, before we get started, if you could do me a huge favor and hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel and allows me to alert you next time we go live. And of course, if there's anything that we do, Babylon 5 included, that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. Not a fan of Patreon? Stick with us here on YouTube memberships. You'll get all of our episodes about a day early, plus any bonus episodes we come up with. But my dear friends, all that is then. This is now, and now it's time to once again inhale that new star smell as we watch Babylon 5 Season 1 Episode 4 Infection. Prepare to engage maximum warp reaction. And away we go! Loving the show.
Still haven't told me when the commander is...
Incredible makeup.
He took out a fighter to check out a damaged transport.
Isn't that sort of job usually delegated to someone else?
Commander's a hands-on kind of guy. He'll grab any chance to take out a ship. He's like that.
He's like that.
Commander Sinclair did not want to be interviewed by Interstellar Network News.
I can't imagine that.
This is the second anniversary of Babylon 5 going online.
Oh, it's only been up for a year? Or 2 years, sorry.
Lloyd's of London put the odds of this station surviving even 1 year at 500 to 1 against.
Well,
If that thing leaves a waxy yellow buildup on anything, I'm coming back here.
really, really great makeup. Oh, this is our doctor.
Get it yourself.
Vance, what are you doing here?
This is Dr. Franklin.
I've come to offer you an adventure, Stephen. Very possibly the biggest adventure you've ever had.
What kind of adventure?
You'll find out soon enough.
I am being overly dramatic.
So anything to declare? Any plants, non-sentient pets, organic matter?
There's no way.
Pottery and stonework.
It is Jimmy from Roadhouse.
This box on the inside is full.
Unreal.
If I didn't know any better, I might think you were trying to smuggle something in.
Not a chance. No, it's just packing material to protect this stuff.
Time for me to kill you. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Sleep or dead?
10 years after the Earth-Minbari War.
It's been a decade. I got to keep that in my mind. 10 years since the Earth-Minbari War. And Susan's brother was killed in this war, so 10 years ago, I would probably have made him either exceptionally young or we're in the credits. Sinclair's telling us all the great stuff about Babylon 5.
The year is 2258. The name of the place is
Babylon 5. I wonder if the also starrings are infrequent in and out of every episode. We'll see. I'll have to see about that.
All the signs point to death by natural causes. Heart attack from the look of it.
that suddenly?
Nothing in his personnel jacket to suggest a heart condition.
Yes, and exactly which medical school did you attend, Mr. Garibaldi?
Yeah, I'm working through the facts here, Doc.
Meanwhile, if I were you, I would go on with work as usual, and as soon as I hear of anything definitive, I'll let you know. Go ahead and remove the body now.
All right, well, the doc's got it all wrapped up, everybody. Case solved. Heart attack.
Nelson, meet Dr. Stephen Franklin, one of the best students I ever had. Well, in the area of alien history, anatomy, and culture.
Pleasure.
I like to murder.
Dick, you found something.
Show him.
We believe it is a Pokemon.
But Akar 7 is a dead world.
Yes. But don't you see, that proves what I've been saying for years. That Akara was once home to a highly advanced spacefaring society.
Kara, this is going to come back.
What were they made to do?
Well, that's where you come in.
Oh, Vance, I told you.
I know. Humor me. Put it in your medical scanner.
You think it's alive?
We have veins, capillaries, traces of DNA.
It is alive. Or was.
The ultimate synthesis of machine technology and living tissue.
This never goes wrong. Eugenics and cybernetics in science fiction never goes wrong.
Organic material has to be quarantined for 48 hours before it is allowed in the station.
We put it all through quarantine at the other end. At the transfer station off Proxima 3.
Well, there are better equipped facilities back on Earth.
I need someone I can trust.
He's looking to sell this shit. Come on, Doc.
I can't do it without you. I need your help. So are you in or out?
If I'm on a team and Jimmy from Roadhouse is on the team, I know I'm on the wrong team. I like that sound drop. That was cool. Let's unpack all this shit. What's the worst that could happen? In an episode entitled Infection. Whoa, he's getting juiced even. Take that, Jimmy. Is Jimmy Jimmy or is Jimmy sick? Ooh. I was going to say, I didn't know if that was a shadow or a horrific infection.
We've been picking up some unusual energy readings the last few hours. I thought I'd wait around a little to see if it happens again.
Well, keep me informed and get some sleep.
I will.
When it's figured out.
The last time I gave an interview, they told me to just relax and say what I really felt. 10 minutes after the broadcast, I got transferred to an outpost so far off the star maps you couldn't find it with a hunting dog and a Ouija board.
They fire you, ship you off to the rim, and I get promoted to commander. I don't see a problem here.
How sharper than a serpent's tooth.
How are you jumping over Susan? I thought she was second in command.
Stephen, it's been 15 hours. We're gonna grow old and die in here.
Let's rush science.
No, something's been bothering me ever since you got here.
It's your face.
Assuming that we can figure out how this organic technology works, what happens then?
We apply for a secondary patent based on alien technology, sell it to an Earth corporation for a percentage of the profit.
There it is.
You should be out making your own discoveries instead of raiding dead worlds for whatever you can scavenge and sell to the corporation.
So is he selling this stuff to fund his own research? It doesn't sound like it. It sounds like he's selling all this stuff to, I don't know, become rich.
Feels a little like grave robbing.
Do you know what it costs to mount an off-world expedition?
Well, that's what archaeology is, bud.
I've stood in the Abendi Desert and watched all 7 moons go into eclipse. I've walked in vaults that have been sealed longer than has been a human race. You call that a shortcut, if you will. But I've lived. By God, Stephen, I have lived.
Good speech.
My hands are clean. How about yours?
He doesn't give a shit if his hands are clean.
I came here because I wanted your help and friendship. If that's too much of a burden...
No, it is not. I just wish that you would stop taking shortcuts.
Dr. Franklin has a piss-poor personality. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. He's very curmudgeon-y, and not in a bones I like it kind of way.
I've come across several rumors surrounding your record prior to Babylon 5. That you were fired 5 times for unspecified personal problems, and that this is your last chance to make good.
Is he getting like, oh, is this, there's a device? I thought it just came out of the box. My man is not looking very good. Okay, so that space roach is infected him and now is eating him, or like a symbiotic type of thing?
Nelson, what happened?
Protect.
Oh!
What's his condition?
Stunned, bumps and bruises, and one hell of a headache. Dr. Hernandez says it's okay to ask a few questions as long as he gets his rest.
Why didn't it kill him?
You shouldn't be walking around yet.
Oh, I'm the doctor. I know what I'm doing.
Really?
This Nelson, who was he working for?
Vance Hendricks.
The same one who brought in the artifacts?
Damn. So is it turning Nelson into one of them? Like one of wherever this race was?
Dr. Franklin was attacked by your assistant, covered in some kind of armor that bears a striking similarity to the artifacts you brought onto this station.
I'm as much in the dark as you are. Nelson told me that he checked.
Do not believe you.
Well, they're a kind of organic technology, limited energy. In order to achieve mobility, they have to graft themselves onto another life form.
You didn't think that was a...
According to Dr. Franklin, just before it fired, it said something about protect. Do you think that might be the key to whatever it was programmed to do?
Return the stuff?
If I could assist Dr. Franklin in decoding them. I mean, if I am responsible for starting all this, the least I can do is help finish it.
The guy playing Vance Hendricks is good. Good actor.
A week on Columbus is simply not within my budget. Of course, then she says,
God, the makeup is so good.
Lieutenant Commander, I picked up that energy flash again. Grade 13, level B.
Thank God for this guy. Okay, so they're killing. He's killing now. I like those X fighters. I don't know what they're called. They're neat, though. Kind of reminds me of Last Starfighter.
All right. I'm moving this to a level 2 alert. Keep this channel open.
Commander.
Level 2.
Ms. Kramer, you are in a secure area. You will leave, and you will leave now.
This is news. And the people have a right to know.
You don't have press access here.
Relay the data to security. I want this thing pinned down to within 10 feet.
Coming up now.
Commander.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
No.
Get off.
You're too young to experience that much pain.
I will take the young compliment and do what I'm told. Jesus, he's getting even, like, more evolved. Look at this shit. Is that growing off of him, or is that, like, is he just, like, assimilating more and more of the artifacts?
Commander, we've got him cornered in Gray 5. I think we can take him, but we'll need some lights in here. He's blacked out the place.
Coming online now.
Wow. Looks completely different. Yeah, fall back.
Move it!
Or advance.
Damn! We've lost him, Commander.
He's punching a hole through the infrastructure, or the superstructure. Great.
Garibaldi, have your team sweep through each sector, moving inward. 2 in each team, 5-minute proximity checks.
How about 2-minute proximity checks?
If we could pull out that information, we might get a better idea of who the Akarans were, and more importantly, why they made these things.
Exactly.
Akarans. You know, obviously from Akara. So that was the taser he used to kill the one dude, right?
There are just a couple of problems. One is periods of latency are becoming increasingly shorter. Two, we've been monitoring the energy level whenever he fires. Each time, the level increases by 20%.
But at least that pings his location too, though.
So, the next chance we get to stop him might be our last chance.
Can we lure him into an airlock?
We'll need room to maneuver. I want guards on the doors, the second level, and the catwalk. Come on, come on, come on, move it, move it. Let's go.
I'd put all those artifacts in an airlock.
Tracking it. Commander, it's on the move again. Round 2, level C. It's heading for the central corridor.
Yep, good call, Sinclair.
Win, lose, or draw. This thing's gonna know it was in a fight.
Really? Jeez, oh Pete's.
Over the course of their history, the Akarans were invaded half a dozen times. Each assault more deadly than the first. They needed to create the perfect weapon, able to adapt to any situation. An organic weapon.
To protect them.
They hardwired the machine half of the weapons not to respond to anyone who wasn't pure Ikaran. Just one problem, Commander. How do you define a pure Ikaran or a pure human? No one is pure. No one.
I mean, genetically speaking, right? Wouldn't there be like a way to seal off the decks and hallways to an airlock and open the airlock and kind of vent?
The next invasion, 11 of the machines were released, and they stopped the invaders by killing anything that didn't match their profile of the pure, perfect Ikaran.
Also, they were killing Akarans, too.
They killed and kept killing until the last Ikaran was dead.
What about the weapons?
Well, no one to tend to them. They were destroyed by centuries of neglect.
Here now, acting on a program to protect a world that's been dead for 1,000 years.
Interesting.
Well, there's a complete personality matrix, yes, but it's totally subsumed by its program.
Then we'll just have to find a way around the logic of the program.
Maybe like, yeah, reference a loved one or a child or... This thing looks badass. What's up, guys?
Not yet. I want it point blank.
Yeah, let it get real close. Damn, not a scratch, man. Oh, he went down. He did run.
Commander, we hit it with everything we had. We didn't even slow it down. The only weapons that might be big enough to kill it would rupture the hull and kill everybody anyway.
I'll try to lure it into the docking area. We get it in place, seal the area, and blow out the airlock.
My man!
Except how are you gonna get it there?
By going straight to its personality matrix. I'm gonna try and make it mad.
I mean, it's a good idea. Just get it off the station. Get it out into space.
Your name is dead, Tular. Your world is dead. You failed. You failed in your mission.
Sinclair's taking a little bit too much delight in this.
Ikara is dead.
Oh, you got him chasing you. We got good news for people that like bad news.
Seal the area. Stand by to blow airlock and depressurize.
But you're there.
Only one way out past that thing. I'm dead either way. Dog the hatch. Seal it now.
Woo! He can get right through that shit.
Ikara lives. Ikara must be protected.
Dear God, Sinclair.
There is no Ikara. Not the way you remember it. The others, like you.
His eyes.
Too tall, too short, too dark, too light, imperfect. They were killed, and the killing went on and on and on. No! Nelson, he's seen Ikara. Ikara after the others finished protecting it.
Can you access his memory?
You can access his memories. See for yourself. Look inside his mind.
He almost sounds like a servos are moving like a robot.
1,000 years dead.
There's your pure world. Your perfect world. You and the rest. You forgot the first rule of the fanatic. When you become obsessed with the enemy, you become the enemy.
That's cool. The first rule of the fanatic.
Forgive us. This madness.
He's gonna kill himself.
Forgive us.
Enemies of Ikara. Protect. Boom. Whoo! Oh, he reverted back. Not surprising. Whoa, whoa, Vance, where are you headed?
Stephen, how's Nelson?
Mid-lab 2, resting.
He's alive?
The body of the customs guard had 2 tiny marks on the back. So small we missed them at first, but they do match the prongs. There.
You knew all about it.
You knew he did not put those artifacts through quarantine. He was acting on your orders the whole time.
Interplanetary Expeditions. The corporation that financed the dig on Ikara 7 is a front. A front for a bioweapons supplier. Organic weapons. Then I could take a chance, hold back on delivery, and
Pay millions.
Or more.
But before you could take that chance, you had to be sure, and that's why you brought them here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, sure, that's exactly what I did.
What about the murdered customs guard?
Well, we had to get them through customs.
Jesus.
I didn't know how. I didn't ask. There was too much at stake.
You heard about the dead customs guard. There's no way you didn't.
We can sell the rest of the artifacts to interplanetary expeditions. They have enough muscle to clean up this whole mess. All you have to do is, not turn me in.
The cool move here is to have the doc agree.
It's too late.
I kind of like that, though. It's too late. Not meaning like maybe if I hadn't said anything, I might have agreed with that. Yeah, here's your interview.
Come.
just Garibaldi. What's up, Mike?
This is the third time in the last year you've put yourself on the line like this.
I didn't know anyone was counting.
Jeff, you're my friend.
Stop this shit.
I know a lot of guys who came out of the war changed. Some came out better, some came out worse.
They all came out different, though.
Without it, they don't know how to fit in anymore, so they keep looking for ways to go out in a blaze of glory. Some people call that being a hero, maybe so. I don't know, I've never been one. Me? I think they're looking for something worth dying for because it's easier than finding something worth living for.
Ooh.
Finished.
Mike, you might be a little too close to home on that shit.
I don't have an answer for you. And I think maybe I should.
That's some characterization we needed desperately for Sinclair. He's going through some shit. That's intriguing.
You seem troubled, Doctor.
No, I'm just thinking.
An old friend of mine turned out to be a criminal.
Back home, there's a growing pro-Earth movement. Rumors of hate groups targeting aliens. Starting to wonder if what we just saw is a preview of things to come.
Yeah, I can't believe we'd be that foolish.
Really?
Dr. Franklin, I have orders to confiscate the artifacts and transfer them to Earth Central.
On whose authority?
Earth Force Defense, Bioweapons Division. Something about studying them for planetary security reasons.
Uh-huh. At least that beetle thing was crushed, so hopefully that's the problem.
After all you've just gone through, I have to ask you the same question a lot of people back home are asking about space these days.
Cameras.
Should we just pull back, forget the whole thing as a bad idea, and take care of our own problems?
Ooh, we're getting isolationist. Okay, I see this. Cool, cool, cool.
Whether it happens in 100 years, or 1,000 years, or 1,000,000 years, eventually our sun will grow cold and go out. It'll take Marilyn Monroe, and Lao Tzu, and Einstein, and Morobuto, and Buddy Holly, and Aristophanes.
Cool.
All of this was for nothing. Unless we go to the stars.
All right, Sinclair. All right. Okay. Unless we go to the stars. That line got me a little bit there. All right, everybody. We just finished watching Babylon 5, Season 1, Episode 4, Infection. And the only thing left to do is talk about it. All right, everybody. We just got done watching Infection, the 4th episode of the very first season of Babylon 5. Good stuff here. There's some good stuff here. And again, I'm being flavored a little bit by some of the other shows that I'm watching. And in particular with this one, I feel a bit of a Fringe type of play here. Let me explain. In Fringe, they like to give us a problem, like a very overt, in this case, we've got alien technology that is like, corrupting a host, turning them into an ancient protector of war or, genocide, really, I guess, on both sides. And in Fringe, they do something too. You have some type of problem of the week that pops up that they need to address. But really what we're looking at is the problem of the individuals, of the protagonists that are kind of revealed because of this problem of the week. Characterization as an inadvertent kind of casualty of the actual topics of the episode. So in this one, we have this race that wanted to protect, and that bleeds over into the war. And I was saying in the first 3 episodes that Sinclair, they seem to just be like, okay, the audience will just see Sinclair and go, oh, he's the commander, we don't really have to get into it too much. And they didn't really give us much of anything with Sinclair. And I think that was, for me, it didn't work initially. And I really like the idea that in this episode, we kind of fell into some information and characterization about Sinclair. And I think it was done in an organic manner. And I think that we actually got some really good acting. I need to start getting these actors' names down. Some really good acting by Sinclair's actor, the best he's had so far. That charge scene in like the de facto airlock, and then like leading there where he was kind of aggravating and egging on the Akaran, that was a really cool exchange. We got to see kind of like that mania, that wild-eyed mania that Sinclair had, and I like that. I need much more of that because I think it's and I think Susan's up next. We've gotten a little bit from Susan. Garibaldi talks so much that we get a flavor for him, so at least we have enough to keep going. We've only had 4 episodes, so I'm not asking for the moon or anything like that. But Susan, we got a little bit. We know about her family, kind of informs us as to why her present kind of like mental and personality, mental state and personality happens to be how it is right now, kind of shielded, walled off, don't let anybody close, everybody I know dies, that type of theme or trope going on with Susan. We still need more from her. We still need more from her, but they've given us enough to kind of kick the can down the road a little bit. Sinclair, I believe they went a little too long before getting at him, but I'm past that now. If you're going to start giving us and feeding us these things about Sinclair, that's desperate. We really, 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 really need more info on Sinclair to establish a basis, to establish how we're supposed to think about the character. It's necessary. And with him, people can't find anything to live for, or I forget exactly what that line was that Garibaldi had, and Sinclair said, I should really have an answer for you for that, but I don't. That for me is good. That for me is that advances him enough where we can start to establish and formulate our own opinions beyond the generic hard air quote commander. He's way more than that. Obviously, everybody's way more than their title or their rank or their job or whatever it would happen to be. But we're desperately in need of more than just the suit, more than just the rank for Sinclair. So, but that's good. We got enough now where I feel good. I still think they need to kind of catch him up to everybody else, but I'm cool right now. Thank you. Thanks for giving me that. It makes me feel a lot better really about progressing with the character and the series, to know that there's at least something going on behind the eyes, that he's not just a Boy Scout, or he's not just, some type of like character that doesn't need to have any definition because there's nothing to define him. Having somebody that's having like almost like a PTSD from their war experiences and their inability to now fit into civilian life, even though he's sort of, still in the military, like peacetime type of fitting in, which is, exactly what Garibaldi said. We've seen him go out in the fighters. We've seen him engage in the combat, be on the front line, go out and perform these like routine, like, scouting missions. Like he was just coming back from one of them, and they're like, I didn't know a commander did that type of stuff. Well, Sinclair does. And that's a really cool informed opinion by Mike Garibaldi, because, it's, I've known you for a long time. It certainly looks like you're trying to put yourself in harm's way. It certainly looks like you're looking for danger. You can call it adventure. You can call it, better me than somebody else. I don't want to put anybody's life at risk, blah, blah, blah. But at some point, what Garibaldi said is exactly right. You're doing this because you need to do it, not because you want to do it. This is a prerequisite of life going forward. Now, with that being said, we had that conversation with the doctor, Dr. Franklin and Vance Hendricks, the two doctors. I think personally, for me, I would have loved if he had said, hey, we can sell these and make money and blah, blah, blah. He could have had the same result, him getting arrested and taken away, or presumably arrested and taken away. But if he had made a mention, like if Dr. Franklin had said, I didn't know that's what you wanted to do, I wish I would have known earlier, something to that effect, phrased better and more fitting for the character. I would have really liked that, because with Dr. Franklin, I get like a whiff of like extreme, I don't know if this is the actor's kind of affect when he's portraying it, but I get a whiff of like arrogance. I get a whiff of like superiority. Now, I'm not sure if that's founded yet. I have not had enough examples or enough, moments with the doctor to understand exactly what type of personality he has. But, he's kind of sharp. But, the doctor, he's got a brusqueness to him, he's just, some of his speech patterns, whether or not, again, if it's the actor's affect, then that's a completely different thing. But if it's a deliberate choice that he's making with line delivery, that means, there's an arrogance born there. There is a definite kind of almost like a God, like that stereotypical Dr. God complex, or again, just that level of I am better than that seems to be kind of wafting off of him. I am certainly not ready to define him as such, nor will I flavor my future, views or experiences with him thinking that's what he is. I'm not. I'm kind of keeping that in mind that, if we see a continuation of those behaviors and patterns, then he is in fact moving towards that kind of line in the spectrum. As of right now, I do need more from him, but he came in later. I don't need to have him caught up nearly as much as I do Sinclair. I think it's very important that we really get a good, firm understanding for at least our kind of core command group, and I'm including the Doctor in that one. For the human command group, when we've got Sinclair, Garibaldi, Susan, and the Doctor, we need to know a lot about them because they're going to obviously be the ones that are most relatable to us. They're humans. We can understand them better than we can understand, Jakar or any of our other guys, Londo. It's easier for us to see ourselves as them. So we need to have a very strong understanding. We don't need to know everything about them, but we need to at least have opinion. We have to have an opinion about them as an audience. And that needs to happen quicker rather than later, sooner rather than later, because it's going to flavor how we progress as we see them engaging with these aliens that we don't know. We need to know, Garibaldi's this way. So when he acts that way towards this new person, then we get if we trust Garibaldi at that point, in his observations and perceptions, that allows us to begin to kind of passively flavor these characters they show up. If an old friend shows up or an old enemy shows up for Susan, and we have an idea of how Susan views the world, then we can then translate that into how we should at least initially feel about this new arrival. Right. It's narrative discussion and it's narrative kind of chain going through with these different characters. But it's interesting. I like the way that they're approaching. The only beef I have is the Sinclair. But I like the way that they're approaching just really giving us a broad look at the state of everything right now. We had those peace talks that were just kind of, they're for next Tuesday. To me, that's a mighty fine nugget of information where you're like, okay, so the ongoing peace talks between the Narn and the Centauri, that goes on next Tuesday. You've got have the Earth Defense Forces that have taken this incredibly powerful, presumably if they can recreate it, Ikaran device that could be used in the future. Interesting stuff. Well, friends, I think we're at the tip of the iceberg, and the new star smell is very strong as we need to make sure I have to make sure that I understand exactly where we're coming from with this really, really cool show. A lot of details, they're throwing us in the deep end, and I couldn't ask for anything more. If you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. Helps out a small channel and allows me to alert you next time we take to the stars with Babylon 5. And if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. But my dear friends, all that is then, this is now, and now it's time to say goodbye. So where should we say goodbye from? Well, friends, I say we say goodbye from the quarters of Sinclair. Now, again, we're the Greek chorus. We can be visible or invisible. We're very important to the telling of this tale. And here on the channel, like I often say, we get to place ourselves anywhere within the episode that we want to be. How can we learn more? And what I say we do is, after the conversation with Garibaldi, when Michael leaves and the doors close, we, as the invisible audience, turn to regard Sinclair. Does he show us anything? Does he show us nothing? And in so doing, does that tell us all we need to know? Friends, until such time as we learn more about this fantastic show, Vulcan roll, and I'll see you.